best of high end. Experience the beauty of audio and video.
Hello, viewers. We're in the PMC booth here with Keith Tonge.
That's it.
He's the creative
Director
of
the PMC.
PMC. Keith, take us to the new prophecy series from PMC, if you would like.
Yeah, well, indeed. The Prophecy series is a new range of mid-price product from PMC.
Yep.
And it replaces the legendary 25i series. These are all passive models.
Yeah.
We start with the two-way compact, which is the Prophecy 1. I'll talk a little bit about the technology and the waveguide and the laminar vent in a moment. But this is the Prophecy 1 two-way. That has a 5-inch bass unit and a 27mm high-frequency unit. And those drive units are used throughout the range.
Yeah.
But different multiples of them. Okay. So Prophecy 1, and then the Prophecy 5, which is exactly the same complement of drive units, same waveguides, but obviously a lot longer transmission line, so it will better go lower in the bass.
Yep.
Okay. Let me move along to first of the three-way models, which is the Prophecy 7. Obviously, you can see there that it's got the addition of the mid-range dome. And this is a mid-range dome that we developed for the professional market, because PMC, not only do we produce loudspeakers for the hi-fi market, but 50% of our business is in the professional market, whether it be composing, mixing or mastering, or for broadcast. And this particular drive unit and this interesting flange that surrounds it is used in our professional models. Okay, so that's the first of the three-way. That's the Prophecy 7. Then we move on to the Prophecy 9, which is the flagship of the Prophecy range, using the same high-frequency unit, mid-range as the Prophecy 7, but it has twin bass units. Okay, the reason we use twin bass units is basically to get higher levels
of SPL.
SPLs, basically. So instead of having a very, very wide cabinet, we use two bass units instead of a single one. Okay, but all of the drive units, as I said, are identical on the bass, but they have very, very long excursion, so they can move a large quantity of air. And then finally, we have for the customers that want immersive sound, surround sound, we have the dialogue channel, center channel, the Prophecy C standing for center. Exactly. Now this is an interesting design. You can't see the transmission line, but there's two. There's two transmission lines within this, and that lowers distortion and coloration, and the mid-range clarity of this one is unbelievable. So when you've got a very complicated piece of music and dialogue and effects all at the same time in a film, this will keep it all completely separate. That's a super model, and that's the Prophecy C.
What I notice is that all the cabinets are very slim.
Yes, yeah. There's two reasons. The first reason is most people in the home don't want to look at a wide loudspeaker. It's a lot easier to place, but also it ensures that you have less reflections from a wide baffle. So if you keep the baffle very, very narrow, there's less effect of sound and reflections up the front. So with this particular range, we've reduced it as narrow as possible, and that's why we have two bass units in the Prophecy 9 rather than having one big bass unit.
Let's talk more technology.
Yeah, technology. Should we walk over and see the technology? Yeah. So with all PMC loudspeakers, we use a base loading technology which is more sophisticated than a sealed box or a ported box, and that's transmission line. We brand it as advanced transmission line because we took the original concept of transmission line and advanced it. So that's what ATL, or advanced transmission line, stands for. And in each of the Prophecy models, we've refined it and being able to produce much lower frequency from a smaller box. And that's what the Prophecy series is all about. It's making a big sound from the smallest box possible. So these are the cutaways of the Prophecy 1. That's the most compact of them. And then the Prophecy 7 here. It's a sophisticated line. we have extra absorption, especially on the Prophecy 7, just before the sound exits the vent, an extra chamber in there that absorbs any coloration before it comes out of the vent, so you won't hear that. And that's what PMC are all about, is reduction of coloration.
Yeah.
And the real proof in that pudding is the new laminaire vent. If I could show you. Now, laminaire was a device that we introduced to the professional world about 5 years ago, and we've gradually introduced it into the hi-fi world. And what we found was there is part of coloration that you can get rid of if you're from the vent exit.
Yep.
Now, if you have a port or a ported loudspeaker and you have air passing in and out of it, you get a lot of noise. Yeah. And it's just it's basically it's just physics. Passing air in and out of a tube, you'll hear it. And what we found was we could reduce the noise floor and coloration of a loudspeaker by using aerodynamic techniques to ensure the air passes in and out of the cabinet as smooth as possible. And what we've done is, you can see this is the most sophisticated version of laminaire that we produce, laminaire X. And this is an aluminium extruded piece which sits at the bottom of the loudspeaker.
Yep.
So it would sit at the bottom of the loudspeaker like this. Okay, so this is the base, and you would have spikes here, and this would be on the floor, and the air passes in and out of these fins, and the fins control the airflow. Very, very similar to a racing car. So the air is in a linear form, laminar form, rather than being in a turbulent form. So it comes in and out of here in a very, very ordered way. Yeah. It also, not only does it reduce noise, it also increases the efficiency of the loudspeaker because it isn't turbulent. So you get a more dynamic sound. All of the models, not only do they have a very deep bass, but they're very fast. They're very, very dynamic. And of course, another function of the transmission line, not so much the laminaire, but the function of the transmission line is that you get the same frequency no matter whatever level you're at. So even at low level, you'll still get great bass response. So whether it's low, medium, or high, you still get the same balance. It's really great for the hi-fi user because you can listen late at night. Maybe the kids have gone to bed or something like that, and you want to listen at low level, but you can still hear bass, which is really unusual. Most loudspeakers don't have that effect. So that's transmission line. This is laminaire.
The tonal character of the Prophecy range.
The Prophecy range is incredibly neutral, but also very involving. It's very fast, and the sound staging is absolutely remarkable. So when you have a central vocal, it's really drawn out, and you can virtually give it a holographic effect. That's partly down to the way that we control the dispersion, our highly sophisticated crossovers, and of course the low coloration from the transmission line and from the laminaire, because you're not hearing what the loudspeaker's doing, you're hearing the music, not any coloration from the loudspeaker. Yeah.
Well, I found the Prophecy series visually stunning.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for all the technical and the
no
background
worries.
information.
Super.
So now you're well informed. PMC Prophecy range. Thanks.
Best of High End. Experience the beauty of audio and video.